creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
The 12-year-old girl who fought off cancer to become a member of the national skating team was among the victims of the plane crash in Washington, D.C. Brielle Byers' mother, Justina, died alongside her. Other victims of the crash include 30-year-old Kaya Duggins, who worked for the Civil Rights Corps. Sarah Lee Best and Elizabeth Keys were lawyers coming back from a deposition together. Roger, Stephanie, and Corey Haynes were returning from the ice skating championships. Spencer Lane and his mom Christine were coming back from the skating National Development Camp. 26-year-old Azra Hussein was returning to her husband Hamad, who was waiting for her at the airport. Wendy Schaffert was a wife and mother of two. Her friends described her as a radiant soul.
Wow.
So far, 40 bodies have been pulled out of the water, and more details are continuing to emerge about lives lost.
So who's at fault? ATC? Also, doesn't the airplanes have, pre-collision warnings? Anyway, prayers for their families.
So unfortunately, we have satanic, power-hungry, money-hungry freaks that run our government. And because of this, we need to be questioning everything. In case you have not heard, last night, a military Black Hawk helicopter collided mid-air over DC with an American Airlines jet, unfortunately killing everybody on board. Now, within an hour of this story breaking, there were already major questions
3 days ago
being raised, and for good reason. I want to look at some of the weird things that surround this event, and we'll start by looking at the actual video itself. Here's the helicopter. Doesn't even look like they tried to get out of the way.
Ooh.
The next odd thing with this story is CNN actually reported on it hours before the event actually happened.
What?
Kind of reminds me of something that happened in 2001, but we're not allowed to talk about that. Now, for TikTok purposes, I'm going to say that this is just a coincidence, but it's interesting nonetheless that just a few months ago, Lockheed Martin was reporting that they could remotely control Black Hawk helicopters.
Ooh. Conspiracy.
Hand in hand with the Army to modernize Black Hawk, to incorporate new technology, new capabilities to create the Black Hawk of the future. And one critical technology of all these things is autonomy. And that brings me here today.
Are we really going to fly this optimally piloted autonomous Black Hawk in Connecticut from 300 miles away right here in Washington, D.C.? And the answer is a resounding yes, we're going to.
We live in an age where aircraft can be remotely hijacked and used as missiles. We live in an age where a pilot's radio transmission can be fabricated. We live in an age where attacks can be disguised as accidents. Now, this is where it gets weird. So just a few days ago, on the 5th anniversary of Kobe's crash, the Eagles posted a helicopter. The Eagles then defeated the Washington Commanders to go to the Super Bowl. And this number was involved. If you know, you know. I do believe this is a very real possibility because we have Satanists running our world. And this is the stuff that they do.
Wow.
And if you watched my previous video, they don't care who gets in their way. We are nothingness. Our lives do not matter to them. We are just pawns in their chess game. Everybody knows it was deliberate. This is their way of telling us. But my question is it the previous reason or is it a distraction for something else going on? Because this is now happening and almost nobody is reporting on it.
I want to know why all the news reports are saying the plane collided with the helicopter.
Y'all, something is not adding up about this crash that happened in Washington, D.C. Y'all need to take a listen to what this eyewitness said he seen before the crash happened. And then I'm going to tell you my input on why this is all suspicious. And once again, I want to give my condolence to everyone who was affected in this tragic event that happened last night at 9 p.m. But y'all, take a listen.
Tonight, I was just with my girlfriend at the park, at Gravelly Point Park, right next to Reagan National Airport. And we were eating dinner, You know, just as normal, taking in a nice view. And
Watch what he say,
noticed
y'all.
the planes started having irregular patterns, and they all kind of dispersed from their regular landing patterns. And then we looked up in the sky before that, and we saw these white flare.
What do you think when you saw these white flares?
We didn't think much of it. We thought they were like shooting stars. I don't know. I couldn't really explain it, but
So y'all heard what he said, right? Mm-hmm. It looked like shooting stars. So now I ask myself, I'm seeing the picture of the plane that crashed, but I was looking everywhere for the helicopter. I have yet to see any pictures of the helicopter that crashed into this airplane. So if someone's seen it, tag me in it, send it to my inbox or anything. I'm telling y'all, I have not seen the picture yet. And then, like I said, even if it was a helicopter, how does it happen? Air traffic control should not have let that happen. It don't.
You know, I thought the Black Hawk has technology that can see enemy combat in 10 miles in the sky. And they have night vision, goggles, hit signatures, and a rotating camera, right?
Grab your wallets and pull out any $1 bills you have. Because if the series date on them says 2013, they could be worth up to $150,000.
There you go,
The Bureau of
folks.
Engraving and Printing says here's what happened. They accidentally printed about 6.4 million banknotes between 2014 and 2016 with matching serial numbers. The Federal Bank in New York issued a batch, and so did the one in Washington, D.C. Only 9 pairs with matching serial numbers have been found so far, so there are a lot of others out there. Be on the lookout.
So once you find one, how do you collect that money? This guy. DeepSeek AI is a lot better in my opinion. Have you tried, folks?
NBC News has also learned this morning that the country of Colombia has recently turned away 2 deportation flights from the United States. Each of those flights held about 80 people, all Colombian migrants, according to a defense official. The aircraft, which were American military C-17s, were initially cleared to land in Colombia, but the president, Gustavo Petro, revoked diplomatic
Wow.
clearances for all U.S. flights, meaning no military or ICE flights will now be allowed to land. On Thursday, Mexico also denied access to American aircraft to land with migrants. On Friday, Guatemala allowed 3 American aircraft carrying migrants to land.
What? I mean, did America forget to make deportation deals with the countries?
When they walk back, they sing through the forest.
Wow. Believe it or not, this is not in Africa. This is in Indonesia, Papua New Guinea. I believe in Jesus.
I saw this dude give a story on TikTok where he went to Bluff City, Utah, and he's like, but what I experienced there had me question if we're in a simulation.
Uh-oh.
He said we were at this hotel, and then we went to a grocery store and then a restaurant, and he said it just, people were weird acting. They were like not expecting someone to come in.
Yeah.
For instance, he went to the hotel clerk. He said, hey, can we get some towels for our room? She's like, oh, actually, I don't know where they're at. This is my first day on the job.
What?
And then he went to the store, and something wasn't working. And she's like, I'm so sorry, this is my first day on the job.
Weird.
And then he went to a restaurant and the card wasn't working. And she's like, I don't actually know how to work this machine. This is my first day on the job.
Dude,
and he's like
a Truman Show.
What is happening?
Yeah.
But then another guy who duetted it, he didn't have a story like that, but he said he stopped in Bluff City and he saw this hitchhiker girl walking on the side of the road, but his car was packed. He's like, I can't pick her up or whatever. He said 30 miles down, the same girl
Stop it.
was
right
walking.
now.
But like that always reminds me of
Interesting.
Truman. There's got to be a civilization or a community that's pulled that off.
North Korea.
Like that.
This has happened in some part of Indonesia, folks. Please pray for them.
Breaking news right now, Donald Trump has just announced that he is signing an executive order later today that will instruct the Department of Defense and DHS to prepare a 30,000 in-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay.
So this
That's
is
crazy.
what I was talking about. This is stage 7, preparation, one of the 10 stages of genocide. You guys know what happens at Guantanamo Bay, right? Everybody knows. And now we're going to be building a 30,000 person facility to house migrants there. What do you think is going to happen? You think they're ever going to leave? You think they're ever going to get to a different destination? Isn't it convenient that they're building this facility offshore, out of the public purview, at a place that's already shrouded in secrecy? This is not a mistake, guys. They are preparing for genocide. This is preparation in action. This is step 7. And I know I told you earlier in the series that you don't have to follow in linear order step by step. There's a reason I skipped step 6. It's because today this was announced. As you are learning about genocide today, preparation is happening.
I doubt it, but deport them to their home country, not a 45 style camp.
Migrants shackled and in chains boarding a deportation flight. The Trump administration has released this footage touting the president's crackdown on illegal migration. These flights returning undocumented migrants from the US were happening even before Donald Trump returned to the White House. 1.5 million people were deported under Joe Biden, many of them similarly on planes and in chains. One key difference is that Donald Trump is now using military planes for deportations. I spoke to some Brazilians who were deported on one of those planes. They told me that being in handcuffs caused panic because there were technical faults with the plane. The plane was incredibly hot and it was difficult to use the bathroom. The ones that I spoke to said that they had been detained months ago under Joe Biden's administration when they tried to cross into the US across the Mexico border. These images show migrants, most of them men, on a jet with armed members of the military. From Trump's perspective, this is meant to be a show of strength, a sign that he's willing to use all types of government resources to fulfill his promises. But they've been controversial in South America.
Wow.
Free energy. This guy, his name's Maxwell Chikumbutsu, but he's from Zimbabwe. He has created a generator that does not use any power source. So this generator basically creates free energy using frequencies from the atmosphere, and this one generator can like power like 300 homes. These two scientist guys went out there to test it and stuff, and they're like, yeah, it's legit. And they're like, how did you know how to build this? And he says that when he sleeps, he gets revelations from and visions from God of how to create these things. He says, this is how he told me to make it, and he made it. But this dude, he's like has a target on his back.
Yeah, for real.
So he's been in prison in Zimbabwe multiple times for just different things that like,
You're too smart.
He came to the U.S. at one point and he was poisoned and almost died and then fled back to Zimbabwe. He cannot get any of his patents patented because the patent, like in the description, says that if it defies physics, it cannot be patented.
This is very true. Maxwell's life is being threatened. Pray for him, folks. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, oh, look at that. Oh no. I love animals. Symbols. Shashmi Adat. What? This is crazy.
Stole a jet to see if there were really lands beyond the ice wall, to see if the things John Hemington spoke of, the Dark Continent, the Pantheons, actually existed.
Exactly. Look, I had nothing to lose. And so I'm standing outside a maximum security fence at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, masked up. You know, I'm just trying to spot any possible security, but I cut the fence and make my way in. And as I shattered the glass to get into the building, this alarm just starts blaring, and I'm thinking, hell, if there wasn't security on shift yet, they're definitely on their way now, right? And so I'm just sprinting down the hall, hearts racing, until I find the aerial control department, and I just grab the first badge I see off the aircraft key card repository. And as I sprint back out to the flight line to get on one of these jets, I see the facility's security personnel just flushing the place. And I mean, I've got good distance, but they're on my tail, and so as I jump inside a jet and start initializing the engine, I'm seeing security literally just sprint head on in my direction. But I mean, look, I wasn't stopping, I was in too deep at this point. Where it really had gotten out of control, right, was as I start to take off down the airstrip, I see one of the other jets behind me start to rev up. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I hope these people are ready for the jet chase of the century, because I ain't landing until I'm 1,000 miles beyond the ice wall.
You're out of your mind, man.
Look, it gets to a point, I'm flying south over the Antarctic Ocean. I've got 2 or 3 of these other jets behind me. They're kind of radioing me on the traffic control, just threatening me, begging me to land. I'm saying back to them, like, just trust me. You guys don't understand, right? Like, we've been lied to. Trust me, you'll see what's ahead. They're going, buddy, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, we're just going to come back up around the other side of the globe. You know, they're telling me we're going to hit the Indian Ocean, Australia, right? They were thinking in terms of the global model. But this is where it gets crazy. You know, as they realize I ain't stopping, one of the other pilots says to me, he goes, listen, you land that thing now, we sign an NDA and go home, act like this never happened. But go ahead, continue forward if you must, but just know it's a one-way ticket. You ain't ever coming back.
What did you do?
What I set out to. I could see the wall by this point, there was no turning back. And as I fly over the wall, the other jets behind me just hit wide pivots to turn around, and the pilot radios me one last time. He goes, crazy son of a bitch. Good luck, kid. And I mean, look, I just soar off into no man's land. I'm baffled. I'm seeing land masses that have never been accounted for. The navigational equipment on the jet is no longer working, but I know as long as I stay due south, I'll reach Panthea. I'll reach the Dark Continent.
What?
And lo and behold, 30 or so hours later,
30.
The sun goes down and it never comes back up. I start to drop my altitude to get a better view, and there she was. I saw the dark lands. I saw everything that Hemington had spoke of. Look, I landed the jet on a clear landscape, and before I even had a chance to get out, there they were. The Pantheons Hemington spoke of, stepping in slowly. I mean, they were literally surrounding the aircraft. You know, I'm thinking, what the hell are they doing, right? And as I'm getting ready to power up the engine, I can't move a muscle.
What do you mean?
I couldn't move if I'd wanted to. I believe they'd had some sort of control over my central nervous system. Their biofield was just so disproportionately powerful.
That's impossible.
Listen, when an electromagnetic broadcast is strong enough, it can influence another. Okay, it's like an EMP on your nervous system.
What happened?
As they got closer, it got stronger. I felt them probing my mind, wanting to know who I was, where I came from. They saw everything.
What did they want?
My hands started moving against my will and pulled the lever to release the airlock on the door of the jet. 8 or 9 of them came on board.
My God.
As my hands went through the motions of initializing takeoff, I realized what they wanted.
You brought them back here.
At that point, I had no choice.
You know, I believe in the ice wall, but 30 hours of flight without refueling?
It is now 89 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight. Any move towards midnight should be taken as an indication of extreme danger and an unmistakable warning.
It's been 89 seconds to midnight for about 30 years now.
Con mi bebé casi me robaron en México, me robaron todos los documentos, el celular, casi se roban a mi bebé. No se vayan. No se vayan porque los están deportando a todos, no, o sea, no los van a soltar al siguiente día, sino allá hay personas que llevan un mes y ya hay ejército, ya mandaron soldados a las fronteras, los ponen en el asilo, pero no los sueltan allá, los dejan.
I understand illegal is illegal, but it hurts seeing, you know, those innocent kids not knowing what's going on.
So someone sent me this video. I watched it and realized that it had been posted back in October. So I reached out to the woman who posted it and said, did you ever find the woman from this video? Did you ever figure out who she was? She goes, no, we didn't. And I said, maybe we can help with that. Because New York, Upper West Side is where this happened. And this woman runs an account for her greyhound named Milo. And I think you'll see evidence in this video that Milo is a very good boy. She had taken Milo to like a dog park and exercised him for a good 2 hours. Greyhounds need a lot of exercise. And then they had found this little like grassy area and she sat down with him just to kind of let him kind of chill out and wind down before heading home. And that is when she was approached by this woman who asked, why are you sitting there like that? Do you have to use the restroom? Which she thought was an odd question. And you'll see that Milo is not having any of this woman. And then she went to walk off. At least that's what she thought was happening. The woman was walking away. That's not what she did. So I'll just let you see for yourself.
Mind your own business, lady.
Clearly uncomfortable with you. Can you leave us alone?
What?
So just in case it wasn't clear, she threw a cup of coffee on her. And she's got this little smirk on her face right before she does it. She walked over, picked up that cup of coffee, came back, and dumped it on her for the audacity of sitting in a patch of grass with her dog. I feel like between her appearance and her very distinct voice, if someone is, say, her neighbor or works with her, they're going to recognize her. And I think if she wanted to give this woman this much attention and spill her coffee on her, she deserves to be made known. So, New York City, Upper West Side, someone do me a favor.
Come on, New Yorker. You know, Milo picked up on the bad vibes immediately. Very good boy.
Just after 3 a.m., we are making our way to downtown Manhattan to begin briefings on ICE actions to come this morning.
Inside the ICE field office in Manhattan, the ranks are enlarged by other agencies now ordered by the Trump administration to gear up for immigration sweeps.
There's also secondary address.
The plan, multiple pre-dawn raids targeting undocumented immigrants with criminal records. The charges range from murder to theft to kidnapping.
We are going to take every precaution when we're trying to apprehend these folks.
Today, they are joined by newly confirmed Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Be safe out there.
The goal, 500 arrests over a week-long operation in New York. In a Bronx parking lot, a final huddle.
Target today is Anderson Pacheco, Venezuelan national. He's wanted out of Colorado on multiple felony warrants.
A suspected gang member with warrants for kidnapping, burglary, and a gun crime, authorities told us. Around 5:30 a.m., heavily armed agents raid this apartment building and find the suspect and 3 other male associates, all handcuffed and without incident.
Also there in the residence, 3 children. Their immigration status unknown. And now a check to see if they have a caregiver or if Child Protective Services needs to be brought in.
The next stop, a residence less than 2 miles away. After some negotiation, the officers make their way inside, but come up empty.
The targets were not home. No arrests, no detentions.
Federal law enforcement is working with limited help from New York City police because of the city's laws protecting undocumented immigrants.
Some might say, isn't New York a sanctuary city? But you said the mayor's been cooperative?
The mayor's been fantastic. In fact, I talked to him on the phone probably 4 or 5 times last night. One of these individuals was so dangerous that we needed the backup of the NYPD to be there in case things went south.
Today's Bronx operation required around 36 law enforcement, yielding a handful of arrests.
Is that a ratio you're comfortable with?
It is, absolutely. I won't doubt what they need for support and backup. Are you aware you're in violation of our laws?
You want cameras at these events, don't you? And some would say you want this spectacle to be filmed.
It's not a spectacle. This is our nation's law enforcement judicial process. The scales of justice are equally applied to everybody. We want transparency on this.
Vice President J.D. Vance has suggested deporting 1 million people a year could be possible, roughly quadruple the number under President Biden last fiscal year.
Will you have the person power you need to carry out this initiative?
We're working on it.
It seems like you won't.
Well, we will have the personnel because we're going to continue to recruit and ask people to help us.
How can anyone be against this?
Himalayan salt or petrified giants? Which is it? Hold on before you swipe on by. This isn't some crazy conspiracy theory post. I just want to show y'all pork ribs in a pink salt mine. It looks very, very, very eerily similar, doesn't it? Now, what does it look like whenever they're inside these salt mines? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that remind y'all of? I'm going to show you a couple more images, and then we're going to decide if petrified giants are real or not. I should call her. Anyways, now the theories on these giants, or these petrified giants, man, are pretty interesting, you know what I'm saying? It's all alleged. Like this right here, look at this right here, man. That's freaking awesome, isn't it? So now back to the Himalayan pink salt. That looks exactly like bacon. Is this bacon or Himalayan salt? I mean, look at that, man. It literally looks like layers of skin, like epidermis. I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying it is. I think I might have said that already, right? Fact checkers. And remember, everybody, it's always the questions, never the answers. Always question and think about things because, I mean, I was eating Himalayan pink salt for a long time until I came across the Dr. Regenerated, actually. Y'all should check his page out, man. This is where a lot of these pictures came from. He was one of the first ones that, I was like, I want to be a creator like that, man. Yeah. I had like 5,000 followers. It's crazy, man. True inspiration, dude. Him and a lot of others, man, who I'll mention in the next video.
Just like Shilajit, you know, the black stuff is believed to be Nephilim blood.
I just left the doctor's office. I went to get a checkup because I've been off of Ozempic for 2 months now, and I just wanted to see if my body was in better condition, if there were any permanent damages. Kind of in shock right now because I wasn't expecting this, but I guess Ozempic can cause bone density loss, and I didn't think that that would happen to me because I was only on it for a year. But I have significant bone loss. I have osteoporosis and osteopenia, so that I don't know, there's like several of them that I have. I wasn't expecting that, but that's what happens if you use Ozempic for weight loss and you lose too much weight.
God is going to heal you, Avery, in Jesus' name.
There's a theory why they actually took down TikTok for that little period.
Why?
Apparently, like, they didn't even have to ban, or they didn't have to take it down.
Okay.
Because they never got like a notice from the government saying, yo, let's take it down. So them taking it down was almost the litmus test to see how it would go.
Okay.
If that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Now, the theory is, the reason they did that, though, was because there's too many real conspiracies on the app that were becoming way too popular.
Okay.
And they just wanted to reset everybody's algorithm. So a lot of people on TikTok right now, they're saying they used to have all of these TikToks of conspiracy theories, LA fires, Diddy, Luigi, and there was so much at once.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stop that from becoming popularized if that's what's going viral, right? So what happens to everyone's For You page? Goes deeper and deeper into conspiracy, into almost like breaking down government secrets.
Because that's what the algorithm would feed that person.
Exactly. And it's popularizing that mindset of looking like
that's
that.
crazy. They just don't want man's informed. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So what people are saying was that reset was to make everybody's For You page different.
Okay.
And to change everyone so that they can just push more whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy because like usually I do my research on TikTok before I come in the podcast, like some YouTube, some TikTok, but like directly TikTok. And there are some conspiracy theorists that I usually like take like I research stories from. And yo, you have to, it's like they're shadow banned. Like you got to search for them. But I actually had to search up his profile, like his whole name, type in his whole name.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Luigi and Diddy story since the TikTok ban. You know, are they showing us on the other side of the ice wall? I mean, it's not funny, but bro could have just waited and stopped in the grass.
All right. Just to, I don't know, let you guys know this school was built on a cemetery. I don't know if that helps my situation or not, but previous janitors that have worked here have tried to tell everyone that, you know, every night something happens, some spooky shit, I don't know, paranormal or whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I didn't really believe them until tonight. I was in here cleaning up after some students had thrown a party, but what's been freaking me out is this one right here.
The balloon.
No matter where I'm at in the classroom or what I decide to do, it just follows me. And do your thing, you stupid balloon. I got you on camera now, so let's just see?
Yeah, it's coming to you.
That right there. Shit. Just
Uh-oh, it's following you, man.
Okay.
That's crazy.
See, no.
You better run. Don't run. Just pop it.
It just follows me no matter what. Ooh. No, I can't.
More proof of paranormal activity than most TV shows.
The billionaire revealed the real image of Jesus, and this has left Christians in awe. Elon managed to show everyone that the images we used to think was Christ were actually not him. So if all the pictures and status that hung in churches weren't Jesus Christ,
it doesn't matter whatever is the real image of Jesus Christ. It's our faith in him is what matters.
Whoever is farting, don't fart, please. It smells bad.
The accent makes it 50 times funnier. Oh. Sweet dog. confused now.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Officer with ICE doing a routine check. Well, I'm an American citizen. Well, we have questions that'll determine that answer. Okay.
Okay.
How many points are scored in a football game? 6. We want to make America great again.
Great again.
Who's the best female artist?
Taylor Swift.
All right, last question. Can you say Walmart? Sir, can you say...
Yes, I know. Walmart.
He says Walmart. Man, the internet is undefeated.
That's straight up, you guys. I told you. Holy moly! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! See, I told you.
What's going on? How is going on in America?
Where did it go? It like disappeared.
It's above you. They're going to war with the cartel, probably. Wow. What's going on here? Oh.
We have some major breaking news right now. Donald Trump is preparing for a soft invasion of Mexico, per latest reporting from Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone is suggesting that Donald Trump's advisors would like to put boots on the ground, American boots on the ground, in Mexico to target the cartels in Mexico. And according to a senior Trump advisor quoted by Rolling Stone, it's not a matter of whether or not they will do this quote-unquote soft invasion, it's by how much. And the soft invasion could include anything from drone strikes on cartel infrastructure to putting in place quote-unquote kill teams to go and target cartel leaders on Mexican soil. Now, it's not unprecedented to have DEA agents in Mexico for cartel-related operations, but this type of operation that Rolling Stone is talking about is much bigger. And I'm sure the Mexican government is not going to be too fond of it if that were to occur, especially given the current posture between the United States and Mexico, with Donald Trump proposing 25% tariffs on all Mexican goods. In any event, comment below your thoughts, spread the word, follow along for all the news you need to know about, and feel free to go on Rolling Stone and read the full story there.
These guys had stumbled upon an abandoned adult movie star's $8 million home, but you will not believe what they found inside. It was raided by authorities in 2016, and the inside is pretty dope, but the further they went, the stranger things got. At first, everything seemed pretty standard for an abandoned mansion, even with the twin turbo, and the place looked like they threw mad parties. But here, when they went downstairs, is when things started to seem really off. The style and the vibe of the couches, even the walls seemed a little bit different than everything else in the house. But it wasn't until they entered this doorway that things got really strange, because after they had went through, it led them to what looked like an abandoned hospital.
What?
It had medical beds and supplies that were left behind. And if it was me, I would have turned back, but they just kept going deeper down the stairwell, which inevitably led them straight into the back rooms. And to me, their biggest mistake was letting that door close right behind them.
That's the Human Centipede house. Remember that movie? Nasty.
Okay, folks, let's get into Lady Liberty. What I want to show you is that the Tartarians built everything in this country. Everything. Anything that you see that is grand, they did not build it. This included. This is Lady Liberty. This is a Moorish statue. She's wearing a Moorish crown. As you know, I'm going to show you. They want to tell you that this statue was constructed between 1881 and 1886. Let's think about this for a second. 5 years. It took y'all 5 years, only 5 years, to somehow make this in Paris, take it to pieces, put it on a boat, get it here, and then put it up. Unfortunately, they didn't think we were going to look into this. Well, let's take a look. Because what they forgot to mention was Statue of Liberty is on a star fort. A perfectly designed star fort. Just like this. You see that?
No.
Tartarian built. Perfect, sacred geometry. This is a star fort. This creates an electromagnetic field. This channels energy. Take a look. Bam.
Bam.
It's on a star fort. It's on sacred geometry. It's on the golden phi ratio. I'm sorry, y'all left that out of your plans of bringing it from one place to another place and then putting it on an ancient device. That's ancient. Ancient, meaning here way before 1881. Here way before your tools. Chiseled out of pure grit. Chiseled out of pure perfection. In 1881, you can't make it. You don't got the tools. You don't got the laser. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the personnel. They want to tell you they had the personnel. Y'all want to see the personnel?
This video of Peaks 100 shows that we are in the Matrix. Once you wake up, you start to peep the Matrix more and more. And certain shit just become apparent. Certain shit just starts showing itself more and more. and then you realize it's NPCs. Then you realize this whole shit is a simulation. Y'all, just take a look at this video.
Have you had the pizza here before? No English? Just rate it in Spanish. Uno, dos, tres, all the way up to cinco, cuate.
Cuate.
I don't even
What
know
is
what the number 10
cuate?
is. Look, there's a whole number DoorDash dude. He looks exactly like the other one, bruh. Cause this is crazy,
I'm
bruh.
thinking that's the same
bike,
dude.
Same moped, different dude. No English. No English? I said
can't
it's almost
speak
it's the same
English
guy, but it's not the same guy, bruh. I swear, bro, we living in a matrix. This is a simulation. Y'all, another one's pulling up, bro.
3.
Looking the exact same as the first and second dude,
Same.
bro. Really in a simulation, my G. What you think? These are fucking NPCs out here, bro.
Man, you're reaching for something that's not there.
Is it the ancients always wore silver? This is gonna blow your mind. Your brain and your body is a bioelectric system. Your body is basically a technological machine which serves as an interface that allows consciousness to interact with the 3D world. Your body's flow of ions and electrons helps to ensure that your body's bioelectric machinery operates harmoniously and supports vital functions, which is why the ancients wore silver and precious metals, because they enhance the flow of ions and electrons, which can enhance the flow of electricity within your body, making your brain to process information quicker, and can unblock any energy blockages within the meridian ley lines. You are an electromagnetic machine. The human body is a battery. This is why we have to charge ourselves constantly with energy. Silver is said to be one of the best energy conductors. Silver has the ability to minimize electrical resistance, which improves cellular communication and energy flow. This is the original reason why humans used to wear jewelry. Not to enhance our looks, but to enhance the functions of our electrical bodies. If you have neck, wrist, or ankle pain, you would wear a specific metal around this area.
Silver has more health benefits than gold. I read there somewhere. They are spraying us like rats, folks.
Step out onto the roadway, and this guy screams that he's got no ears. And I just thinking it's really rude. And then I close the door and I look up and he's got no freaking ears. And his eyes are twice as big. And I just...
I love that Joe Rogan has anyone on his show and gives them a chance to speak freely.
Example about the maritime law, the law of water. Money is water by law. This is why all ships are female by law. All ships, rocket ship, sailing ship, airship, it doesn't matter. If it's a ship, it's female, because the captain always refers to his ship as she. Why she? Because she delivers the product. Without she, there is no product. So is your body. It's a vessel that produces a product. So when the ship pulls into harbor, so where it parks is called its berth. It's berthing a ship, or she sits in her berth. And every item on that ship has to have what is called a certificate of manifest, because she is sitting in her berth. That's why when you were born, you were inside a container of water. Her water broke and you came out, and therefore you have to have a birth certificate, and it's got to be signed by the doc. Once you begin to see how the words and terms are all based on maritime admiralty, the law of water, the cash flow, the liquid asset, all of these concepts was developed into a commercial system of words and terms and symbols which are used in courts and government and corporations. You know, your body is a corporation. When you die, you're a corpse. By law, your physical body is a corporation. So you are a business, and hanging out with that person is bad business. Or who I hang out with is none of your business. Of course, if you get married and she's very wealthy, you say she's of good stock, right? Words and terms are based on maritime admiralty, the law of water.
Who started this law of maritime?
I don't know if you know this, but we're actually competing with AI for water.
Wait, why water?
Oh, you didn't know this?
Why water?
So, because AI, whenever you put like a prompt in, right?
Yeah.
So say like, and there was a whole article posted by, I think it was like Daily News, and if you put in a prompt that says, "Can you make me an email of 100 like words?" Right? So this is the exact amount of water that it takes up. Hold on, I'll show you. Okay, boom. So it uses 519 milliliters of water For
right?
AI to write something?
For AI, only 100
No way.
words email.
But where does the water go?
Huh? What do you mean? No, because you know how AI has all the... It gets powered by water. That's what I heard.
Like water generators.
Yeah, water generators, because all
like
the...
electricity.
Trust me,
all the
bro.
tech
Yeah.
there's a bunch of tech in one room that needs that amount of electricity. So it's from water. So boom. So and now you're thinking about it, look, it says ChatGPT has 200 million users. And if you do the math, if they all ask for 100-word emails, that's 207 million liters of water per day. And that's on the article. That's not including Google. That's not including Meta, because Meta's using it now. None of that. That's just one person asking it, oh, yo, write me an email real quick.
But that water wouldn't be drinking water though.
It wouldn't, but like, obviously it's water still at the end of the day.
Big deal. I don't think it's a big deal, but it is kind of like that hook. Yeah, that's a crazy hook. That's a crazy hook. Like, you make me think, oh fuck, and one day we're not gonna have water because we're giving it to the robots. The fuck, aren't they robots?
Water is the new gold.
If the asteroid never struck the Earth 66 million years ago and the dinosaurs were never wiped out, humanity would have never happened. And the same can be said for the dinosaurs themselves. They owe their existence to two mass extinctions, one that happened right before their existence, and the other right when they were beginning. 250 million years ago, right before the dinosaurs, was the largest extinction event ever known in history, called the Great Dying. All the continents on the Earth were smashing together into one large supercontinent called Pangaea. The center of the continent was so dry because water from the outside of it, the oceans, couldn't make its way inland, and that caused so many droughts, causing the slow but gradual extinction of many species at the center of the continent. And even worse, as the continents were converging together, they started trapping all the heat from the mantle. It was bubbling up under the surface, and all that superheated lava was bubbling up and turning into a gigantic mantle plume, which had nowhere to go because all the continents were smashed together. So it opened a giant wound in the center of the continent, and bam, all that heat and all that toxic chemicals and smoke and all that stuff came bursting out, causing one of the largest extinctions ever. 96% of all marine life died out because all those toxic chemicals went into the ocean. The oceans became stagnant. The air was full of carbon dioxide. It really got heated up over time, caused immense global warming. And the toxic chemicals in the atmosphere burned away the ozone layer. So all that toxic radiation now came burrowing down onto the surface and wiping out 70% of all land species and 96% of all marine species. Even the trilobites, which existed for hundreds of millions of years before this, they were completely wiped out by this event. And what remained after that was a very dry, barren land. And the only species that really survived on land were the Lystrosaurus, which was a mammalian-like reptile. It was kind of mammal, but also kind of reptile. It had traits of both, but it survived because it was hardy. It was able to eat roots and tubers from the ground, and they can burrow underground and survive the extreme temperatures. They were dominant at this time. They were like pretty much the only land animals you would see because they had no other competition. But meanwhile, there were some reptiles still left, one of them called the Proterosaurus, which gave rise to the Archosaurs, which were the ancestors of the dinosaurs. It took nearly 30 million years to recover from that event, where life gradually and slowly came back. Along the coasts, you have vegetation starting to move more inland, like ferns and conifers, started moving inland towards the center of Pangaea. As the oceans recovered slowly, you have reptiles begin to slowly adapt towards the marine environments, towards the sea. So we have the emergence of sea reptiles, like the Nothosaurs, which are fast and agile, as well as the Ichthyosaurus, which was also adapted to consuming shellfish and things like that in the ocean. But on land, the perfect soup was brewing for the emergence of the dinosaurs.
Cool theory, but no way to be verified.
The other reason they were trying to push these LEDs so much was because the LEDs were outfitted with cameras. Very interesting when you start to think about it. LEDs outfitted with cameras. So when you think about it, let's say a person had a whole bunch of LEDs in their home, Well, then you got cameras watching you all the time. Almost kind of moves into some weird Black Mirror episode. Now, someone could say, oh, well, your phone is watching you. Yes, I know that. I understand. We're videotaping right now. We're talking about it. And we're bringing awareness. But I can turn my phone off. I can cover the camera. I can do all kinds of things. I can pull the camera out of the phone. But with the lights, that's a whole different story. So that's why the whole LED movement doesn't really make a lot of sense. And if we get into the radio frequencies, which come off of LEDs, it's a whole twisted story. That's for sure. Principles of Light and Color, Edwin Battle. This is really cool. When you're getting into color therapy is the original way in which they used to heal people. They used to put people in front of different colored glass and they would begin to heal. And what they would do is they would target.
They can see you through your TV.
If I told you time travel is real, but it's not how we think it is, it's actually just time travel to watch. There's this guy named Francois Bruni.
Okay.
He created a machine that he claims can see every moment of the world ever and
Like
watch it on
like
a
a
screen.
TV?
He
Chronovisor.
created a machine that you can turn on, watch, and using and manipulating. Because what are memories really is light and frequency. Replaying. That's what everything is. That's what everything is, Gavin.
Yeah.
Now manipulating that and using it with the world's frequency and using to manipulate different time eras. Apparently, he was able to create a screen that was able to show him the crucifixion of Christ.
Whoa.
The Napoleon's like speeches back in the day. I think Julius Caesar, like a whole bunch of different things out in history. Now, this is where it gets scary though. He brought it to the Vatican. He brought this machine to the Vatican. The Vatican still has it to this day. Yeah, like they still have it to this day. And this is where it gets scary
Allegedly.
because there was a pope. I forgot the pope's name, but the pope at the time decided this machinery is too powerful. We need to destroy it, or just we can't release it to the public. Like all of your records, everything that you've done to study it, it cannot go public.
Damn.
So to this day, they still have it somewhere in the Vatican archives.
For those
Trust
of you
me,
who do
bro.
not already know, the man on the right side of my screen here is Jewish gang member Yoel Alter. He has been arrested by Interpol for his involvement in one of the world's largest child sexual trafficking rings. Now, this is not being talked about by American media. This, in fact, was footage taken from a Latin American news channel that I couldn't even read the title of the YouTube video because it was in Spanish. There was no English options coming up. So in America, whatever's going on here, this is being censored. So I need your help. Like, share, comment, hit all the buttons. We need to talk about this. This man is from Israel and may very well have ties to Zionist organizations in the United States.
Nationalities have nothing to do with sick, depraved individuals. They are from all nations. What are you talking about?
Oh, the one rabbit hole that I did get into, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the Scientology stuff. I really wanted to know what was it, you know what I mean? And there was one guy who infiltrated the whole thing, but like we've seen, and I've heard stories about people that just do the test, right? It's literally an IQ test.
Yeah.
And then they try to put shit on you. But this guy, this YouTuber, he had like one of these Snapchat glasses.
Yeah.
And he went to the church service, and I've never seen.
And it's like a video cam on the glasses,
and
right?
I've never seen a Scientology church service. Like I've seen the questionnaire, but I've never seen it. And all they do, fam, the pastor goes, "Oh, everyone sit in your seat. You guys sitting? Good. Everyone sit in your seat. You sitting? Good. Everyone sit in your seat." That
Wait,
goes
what?
on
That's it?
for 10 minutes, fam.
Okay, sit in your chair. Good. Sit in your chair. All right, now are you sitting in your chair?
Yes.
Excellent. Sit in your chair.
And he's just saying commands over and over.
What's the point of that?
And I'm like, yo, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
I went to the comments. I'm like, okay, let's see if people are no. It's just brainwashing technique.
Ooh.
If some guy
keeps repeating
an
it.
accomplished task,
Yeah.
it's gonna get more sensitive to obey him. So when he says, "Oh, come next week," you're gonna come next week? Yeah. Are you gonna come next week? Yeah. Are you gonna come next week?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fam, it's 10 minutes of one command, 10 minutes of another command. Yo, it kept going. And if you're really just
That's
like
crazy.
subconsciously like there, yo, you might get fucked up. Like you.
Repetition is the father of learning. I forgot who said that.
Do you know that there's 3 things that will be revealed after our deaths that exist now?
What do you mean?
What?
There is a letter from Queen Elizabeth written to the mayor of Sydney, and she says, please don't open this letter until 2085. Or it's being held in a secret vault in Sydney, Australia.
Interesting.
Wow.
Like something big. But then there's a movie called 100 Years, the movie you'll never see, but it's starring John Malkovich.
Okay.
And it's to be released in theaters or to the public in 2115.
Really? Wow.
They filmed it in 2015, and no one will see it
Yeah.
until 100 years goes by.
Lame.
What if they know exactly what happens to us and they just made it?
What
to
if
a
John
movie?
Malkovich is a time traveler?
And then the last thing, which was super weird, Jackie Kennedy's bloody pink suit, the suit that she was wearing
Yeah.
when JFK was shot, it's been held in a vault, secret. Like, no one's allowed to see it. And they said they will release it to the public October 26, 2103.
Weird. Why?
Yeah.
Alien blood.
Don't know.
Alien blood.
Tupac will still be dropping new music.
So I Googled healthiest drink for you. You know what it is?
Vodka
Tequila.
soda. Oh, yeah.
But you have
Tequila.
to buy. This is where you need money. Buy that $50 to $70 shot. And I
Who
found
got the
it has
money,
like
man?
probiotics in it, tequila. All I do, because I live in Scandinavia, you got to drink some, or you just don't fit in the culture, right? So I get one. I go to any place. I'm like, what's the best tequila you have? Don't be bringing. There was a tequila bar in LA. They had $500 shots. That's a little bit expensive, but I'll get like $50 to $70 real tequila, not any kind of Patron. Patron's, no offense to them, not Patron. And then I get one
Patron.
ice cube in it, and I sip that all night. No negative effects, man.
What about Clase Azul?
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I do.
Reposado, yeah, but just like one.
Interesting.
This is getting out of control.
I'll make it as quick as possible.
Listen up.
My name is Martin Alvarado. I'm a bounty hunter by trade. I've been introduced by my agency. I'm from Seattle. Tacoma called me and told me that as the waves go through, this is the first wave. The second and third is when they're going to hire us. The ICE is going to hire us bounty hunters, and they're going to be giving $1,500 to $1,000 per illegal. We don't have to worry about warrants. We don't really have to follow too many of the laws. And if we're going to be deputized by ICE, we can pretty much do anything we want. They're already going over there and creating the squads as we speak now. That's why they called me. So as soon as I get back with my squad in Tacoma, we will be coming down the state. $1,000 per illegal is a
This
pretty
is
good
crazy.
price. Just to do things that you kind of enjoy. How or what you guys are going to do
How
to
the
stop
hell are you
that?
going to enjoy?
Are you going to pay
This
us
is
more?
crazy and disrespectful.
Are you going to pay us $2,000 to just leave them alone?
What?
You should be making those kind of comments. We're going to create panic right now.
I'm not creating panic. I'm trying to give you guys informed of what's going on.
You're comparing numbers right now. You shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I'm just stating a fact of what are you guys going to do to stop us from doing our job.
Maybe you shouldn't be doing that job at all.
Why?
Right.
What part of illegal don't you understand?
Can't put a price in.
You can put a price on every human being.
What? No,
This guy crazy.
Oh my God!
Well,
How you
that's
gonna
not right.
price?
That's your problem. If you don't
All right, sir, we're going to
And
have
this
to,
guy is
to
masked
ask
and
you to stop.
everything?
You know, and around here we don't refer to people as illegals. They're,
I'm not going to get
they're
politically
human beings.
correct because it bothers you guys. But your sensitivity is not our problem.
Well, it is my problem.
Sounds like slavery.
You know what? It is my problem.
That's
to
right.
beware because
Well, it's time for you to be quiet.
us.
It's
Good.
time for you to be quiet.
Shut your mouth.
It's time
And get
for
the
you
hell
to be
out.
quiet and leave.
Right.
Why? Because I'm telling the truth?
Because you don't even have the cojones to wear a
There you
take
go.
off the mask, bro.
Los
That's
cojones, no tiene los
there you
cojones,
go.
puñeta. No los
You
tiene.
got some? Now get out of here. Take them with you. Goodbye.
Abochórnate. Y después Marvin
Okay, yeah.
Alvarado.
Can't wait for that day. Forgive me for that.
Wow.
I didn't want it to end on that note, but you know, one thing we're not going to tolerate is disrespect and
Good.
ignorance.
Great.
Wait till they start shooting U.S. citizens because they look illegal. Oh man, it's Mufasa.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hello, my boy. He's my boy. He's my boy. So, guys. Hola, my boy.
So it's not very difficult. It's not very difficult. Hey, Bobcat. To see whether Bobcat is in a bad mood or not, eh? In fact, it's pretty easy. You just walk up to the fence, you call Bobcat. Yeah, boy. Oh, oh, oh. And? And you get that. Mwah.
That's awesome. I don't understand. Did it work or not?
You need to stop and listen to what is happening in the U.S. right now as a result of Donald Trump's executive orders. There are ICE raids that are targeting Native Americans. Native Americans. They are currently being detained and questioned, and they are American citizens. This is not going to stop. The racism in this country has been unleashed at an unprecedented level, and many people are going to pay the price. This is truly dangerous right now.
Yep.
Please know your rights. Please share information with vulnerable people. And as always, please go ahead and follow me on all of my other platforms in case this app gets banned again. The link is in my bio. I am devastated for everybody this is affecting currently.
Hey, if this is true, it's crazy. Let me know how you feel about this.
My whole team was counting on me to make a good response video. My wife and my kid were counting on me to make a good response video. You know, and I failed.
Dude, why are you crying?
I didn't make a good video.
Did they see it before it went out?
It was live.
Oh.
His response video should have been, I am humbled and need to keep searching and learning the answers. Thank you, Wes Huff, for the education. Oh man, God bless you for saving the elephants. Oh man, animals are smart.
I had a very clear dream of the Quality Food Center, the QFC, which was a block away. I saw the woman behind the counter. She had her name, Eileen, on her. I dreamed every piece of it. And behind her, there was a clock that said 2 p.m. And in the dream, I could see the back of my head, and I was stepping up at 2 p.m. and purchasing a lottery ticket. I went at that time, and there was Eileen right behind the counter, wearing her name tag. The time said 2. I decided to purchase the Lucky for Life, which was the same ticket I purchased in the dream, even though I had never heard of it before. I never played the lottery, so I had never heard of any of the games, but I had dreamt the words Lucky for Life in the dream, so that's the one I picked and won. And it was thrilling. In the dream, it was so clear. I heard the words Lucky for Life, and I saw myself at the grocery store, this QFC, buying a lottery ticket, and I saw the woman. It's not even a store I frequented, because I usually went to the Whole Foods. Lo and behold, I went to the Quality Food Center 1 block away from this failing antique store that I had aligned myself with 6 months before, and everything in the dream came true. I won the next day.
Did you know that someone there named Eileen worked there? Were you familiar with that, or was that just...
Oh no, none of that. I never purchased a lottery ticket from this store. I mean, I bought 1 or 2 over a lifetime, but certainly not regularly. Did not know the woman, did not know she worked there, didn't know, she was exactly as pictured in the dream. She was wearing her little name tag that said Eileen, and I thought, well, I knew right when I saw her that I was at the right place, and I knew I was going to buy the ticket, but I could have bought all the tickets, to play it safe, but I just bought the one that I dreamt about, which was the Lucky for Life, and that's the one that I won.
For some reason, I believe this lady.
The following footage is a viral video coming out of the Netherlands, in which millions of people have begun posting stating that it's a major glitch in the Matrix. But there's something very unique about this video. We have not only the first video, but part 2 of really what was going on with this seagull stuck what appears to be in the middle of the sky. Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
Is dus brandweer gekomen omdat er een duif of een meeuw hangt, maar aan een draadje of zo, maar hij zweeft in de lucht.
Oh,
hij leeft nog. Ja.
Oh, this is a bird, man.
Wat is dit, joh?
Oh. No. What is going on there? Save the bird, please.
Had his fashion show in Paris, and I will never understand why these fashion shows are always so dark themed. I mean, just take a look at his models. Their eyes are all pitch black. I mean, every single one of them, there is no white in those eyes, and combine it with the way they walk, I mean, it just creeps me out. Even the people that are pulling up to these shows, I mean, they go all out, dressing very artistically, and there was some really high-name celebrities here as well. We have NFL star Stefon Diggs, we have artist Don Toliver, and some other celebrities that I didn't recognize, but they all got in line to take a picture with Michelle Lamy. I mean, this woman gets treated with the utmost respect. Her entrances are dramatic. I mean, everyone lines up for it, everyone's taking pictures. One time she did it with a white horse, and I think we all know the symbolism behind that. Read the book of Revelations. Beyonce's been starting to do this a lot recently too. But just take a look at what Michelle Lamy said at this fashion show.
What do you think of the show?
Heroes, resistance, we will win.
Michelle Lamy is a high-ranking witch.